Thank you very much. I've done a lot of preparation for today, and that included not spilling any lunch on this white shirt. I was very conscious of that today. Yeah, thank you very much for having me. I'm very excited to be here, to be speaking to people that are basically part of the solution to South Australia's economic growth challenge. You may or may not be aware, but South Australia has recorded quite subdued economic growth over the past decade. And one of our key constraints is our population growth. We have very weak population growth, we have an older population. So skill migration will be a really important part of supporting our population growth, but also providing a skilled workforce as we have a lot of older people retiring. And we have those changing industry needs as that industry structure continues to change. So I hope you're aware of the fact that you are part of the solution to South Australia's economic growth challenge. So South Australia is an economy in transition. It's been changing a lot in recent decades. This is the past decade, employment changes by industry. So we've had a lot of employment growth in healthcare and social assistance. When I say that, I mean hospitals, GP services, aged care. So we've got an ageing population, and that requires the services of that particular industry. Almost 40,000 additional South Australians working in that industry when compared with 10 years earlier. There's been a few industries that have been contributing about 10,000 additional workers over the past 10 years. There's construction as an investment has continued to support the engineering and the commercial and housing construction needs of the changing and growing population and the business community. And the government's continued to invest in order to support that developing and growing state economy. As our economy has continued to develop and grow and advance, we've had more of a reliance on education and training, so more people need to be training, gaining those skills to help them participate in this new economy that's emerging. We're also attracting more and more international students, so that's creating a lot of jobs in education and training. As our economy continues to advance and develop, we're seeing a lot more jobs in professional, scientific and technical services. You're probably wondering, what does that mean? So that includes things like legal and accounting services, engineering, advertising, computer system design, all those services that require a high level of expertise in education. And we're expecting those sorts of industries to continue to grow in the coming decade in South Australia. Because on the other end of the scale, when you look all the way to the bottom, our manufacturing industry has had a pretty rough time of it. So we've got 26,000 fewer South Australians working in the manufacturing industry when compared with 10 years earlier. The manufacturing industry has weathered some pretty tough conditions. We had a previously high Australian dollar, which made our exports less competitive. We also were competing against low-cost foreign competitors. And the local operations are continuously looking for ways of doing things with fewer workers, which has put a bit of a strain on the size of the workforce in manufacturing. So they're moving towards more advanced manufacturing processes and automation. There are also a number of government initiatives that will create a lot of job opportunities. The NDIS, you might have heard that acronym flying around, the National Disability Insurance Scheme. Basically create a lot of jobs related to supporting people with a disability in their daily lives and their daily living. We create a lot of jobs in allied health professionals, personal care workers, but also a lot of supporting roles in office work as well. You've probably heard around the traps that we have some defence projects coming in the next couple of decades, and that will provide a range of job opportunities, a variety of managers, engineers, a variety of technicians and trades workers, clerical and administrative workers, machine operators and drivers, labourers. There's really quite a wide variety of jobs that will come about from the defence projects. There's also a number of major developments in South Australia. They're spanned across basically gas, renewable and battery storage projects, engineering, commercial construction. I've provided the links to a number of major projects, and you guys will get a copy of these slides just to give you an idea of where to go to find out more about these projects. Often these projects will have an opportunity to apply for jobs. They'll advertise job opportunities related to those major projects. Sometimes they haven't even got to a stage where they know exactly what they'll need, but they'll actually give you the opportunity to register your interest in participating in those major projects. The Northern Connectors are on there, the northhub.sa.gov.au, give you an opportunity to get involved in the Northern Connector project, but also in some of the naval shipbuilding and the Gawler Rail electrification project. So there's a few sites there that might give you a bit of a lead on where to go to find some opportunities. I've just provided a number of other ones there. There's some that are in the pipeline that are still under consideration and some that are underway. And the state government used to provide this really useful document about major developments. They haven't done that in recent years, which has made it a bit more difficult to find a central location for what's out there in terms of major projects. But I provided some general sites that can give you a feel for some of the projects that are out there that will require a variety of workers. Just recently in South Australia, for a number of years, we had a pretty shocking jobs market. And in recent years, it's started to pick up. The demand for workers has been increasing. So employment has been increasing for a few years now. So that basically means for job seekers, it's become more job seeker friendly, and that there's more opportunities for job seekers. And that's just in recent years. And as a result of this pickup in the demand for workers, we've also seen the unemployment rate come down. So back then we had an unemployment rate of almost 8%, it was the highest in the nation, and we had a lot of unemployed people. And that made it tough for job seekers because they were competing with so many other unemployed people. But recently that number has come down, and that's good for job seekers because it means you're competing with fewer unemployed people. So it's gotten better than where it was. Demand for workers has picked up and there are fewer unemployed people, which makes it easier with these increased job opportunities that are coming about. It means that you're competing with fewer people. So we've seen this changing industry structure. We're seeing more jobs in healthcare and social assistance, in education and training, in construction, and professional, scientific and technical services. We're seeing a number of major developments that are underway or in the pipeline, and we're seeing the strengthening in the jobs market in recent years. And I thought it might be useful to take a look at some of the vacancy data. So the Federal Department of Jobs and Small Business provides vacancy data by occupation. I'll be providing a link later on that actually gives you the definition of these occupations. Because sometimes you sort of like, oh, this skill set, but which occupation is relevant to me? So there's a document on the ABS website that lets you know where your skill set sits, what occupation do you belong to. And it should also be noted that not all jobs are advertised on the internet. Sometimes it can be through networks and through the people that you know. And so that's something to note. This is basically internet vacancies, what's being advertised on either Seek, Career One, or Australian Job Search. We found that actually 1 in 4 of the job in internet vacancies were being advertised for professional jobs. This is definitely an area of growth in South Australia. We're seeing a growth towards the higher skill level occupations where it requires a higher level of expertise and education. So the number of the highest job vacancies there are professionals with things like registered nurses, programmers, accountants, human resource professionals, civil engineers, and we had advertising and marketing professionals as well. So there's a variety there of jobs that are recording the highest number of vacancies. I also included another slide for professionals because this is relevant to the sort of jobs that are relevant to you, some of you guys that are here today. So there's a variety of engineers, industrial, mechanical, and production engineers. There's electrical engineers, ICT support, test engineers. There's around 10, a little bit less than 10 vacancies for telecommunications engineers as well. So I'll provide a link to the website that updates this data every month so you can get an idea of which jobs are being advertised the most for. The second largest group was for the technicians and trades workers, and the largest number of vacancies for those were for motor mechanics and electricians. Then we've got the third largest group was the clerical and administrative workers. Huge number of vacancies for general clerks, and general clerks basically provide a variety of clerical and administrative tasks like routine reports, recording and filing information, stuff to do with office work. There are a lot of jobs for general clerks, but also for a variety of other clerks as well to do with accounting and payroll clerks and so on. When I first saw the word clerks, I was like, what does that mean? What a clerk is. And also relevant to some people who are here, there are also about 30 advertisements for bank workers. Another group that had about 1 out of 10 vacancies were for the managers. There were a variety of manager opportunities here, so managers in advertising and sales, construction, retail, production managers, that other specialist managers. That includes quality assurance managers, had about 30 vacancies. So there are a number of opportunities there for various managers, and I also included these here because it was relevant to some of the people here. So you can sort of get an idea of the scale, the number of internet vacancies that are coming out for some of these occupations. Variety of labourer jobs. As an economic analyst, we love the category other miscellaneous labourers. That provides a huge amount of insight. You could be a bicycle mechanic or you could be a trolley collector. There's a huge variety of labourer jobs that fit in that miscellaneous of pretty much other labourers. For sales workers, no surprise there, the major one for sales workers, there are a lot of job advertisements for sales assistants. A large contributor to that is that there's a lot of turnover in sales assistants. A lot of people come and go, so that does provide a lot of job opportunities. Because job opportunities can come about from employment growth, but they can also come about from turnover as well. There's also, among the community and personal service workers, there's a very high level of vacancies available for the aged and disabled carers. Not surprising when we have an aging population requiring those sorts of workers. And among the machine operators and drivers, the largest number of vacancies was for truck drivers. I thought I'd provide some useful websites that may come in handy. We've got our website, skills.sa.gov.au. When you go to that website, you can select careers and jobs, and you can find out a whole bunch of information related to different occupations and industries. What's it like to work in a particular occupation? We all want to know how much you're likely to earn in working different occupations. It's good to sort of put those numbers up against each other. Okay, if I work in this, what am I going to earn? If I work in this, I'm only going to earn that, or I'm going to the other one. You can find some general labour market information, some information about the growth industries and what some of the relevant occupations are for those growth industries. Obviously, keeping an eye on job advertisements, seek.com.au. There's the state government website at iwork.sa.gov.au. Also helps that if you don't have a profile already on LinkedIn.com, really helpful because there are a lot of jobs that are advertised there, but also jobs can come about through networks. So that is also really useful. And something else I had on that other slide was keeping an eye on job advertisements in terms of the number of vacancies per occupation, stuff I just took you through before. So that's available on the Federal Department's website. You can go to the ABS website if you want to have a look at the general labour market conditions. So the Australian Bureau of Statistics, so they actually do a survey of South Australians once a month, about 6.5 South Australians to get a feel for the labour market conditions. So you can get an idea of which occupations are growing, which industries are growing. And if you follow those steps, you can go to those different types of data. So you can just see if employment's growing and there are more opportunities. Is the unemployment rate continuing to decline, which means you're competing against fewer unemployed people? It's good to just get a feel for the general conditions. If you're finding it tough, why am I finding it tough? Are the general conditions tough, or is it something to do with my skill set? Also, these are the documents I referred to before. The ABS has a couple of documents that describe what each occupation means and what it includes, what each industry means. So you can actually do a bit of a word search for your particular area of expertise. I'm involved in developing video games. All right, where does that sit? And I can tell you which occupation is relevant to that. So that, I think, is all I had to say. Thank you very much for listening, and happy for you guys to chat with me afterwards. So thank you.